It's your man Mac the Reactor, fresh out the trash compactor. You all know me by now. It's your favourite England-born, somewhat Australian sounding Reactor. He's a big boss like Rick Ross. He goes harder than Slipknot. He's in permanent beast mode without even applying the cheat code, baby. He's so crazy. Man, I'm back here to react to some more Little Mix. I'm about to get in the mix with Little Mix. Shout out to Perry, Jesse, Leanne. Who am I leaving out? Jade. I didn't leave out anybody, did I? Perry, Leanne, Jesse, Jade. Yeah, no, I did that. I handled that. See, I know my stuff. Kind of. So I'm going to react to some Paper Penthouse by Little Mix. Now, this is apparently a combination of some of their songs. Y'all know I got lockdown on lockdown, man. We're not going to sit here and suffer through lockdown. We're going to be in the mix with some Little Mix. Every one of these girls, my little sis, I'm telling you. So, it was actually Teak Socks, T-E-E-X-O-X, Teak Socks? Teak Socks. Said, Mac the Reactor, you should defo check out Little Mix Paper Penthouse. It's an acoustic of 2 of their songs. Now, according to the description, if I didn't read wrong, it looks like it might be 3. But then again, we all know that I mess things up every now and then. I'm Mac the Reactor, but I'm not Mac the Perfect. But I've always got time for Little Mix. That breakup song was crazy, right? Like, you'll understand that. Did you all see, Leanne and, Perry and Jade, they all did like an Instagram live together. I checked that out. It was nice. But I'm about to check this out. So let's get in the mix with Little Mix and let's keep lockdown. Let's go.
Getting better sex. Oh, she ain't
Can we have you women behave for a moment, please?
Hey everyone, we're Little Mix and we are going to do an acoustic of our song Touch. Yes.
What's with that intro? Oh, hey, I'm the guy. You probably don't know. I have made music out here, although I've been away from music for a little while. Just whole depression thing. I'll tell you about that properly someday. But I'm so good because I've been in the studio before and I've sat down with producers. I'm so good at picking up notes. I've heard that guitar before, so I'm wondering if I've heard this song. Let's have a listen.
You and I and nobody else. Feeling feelings I never felt.
Oh, Leanne, I worship you.
Oh, it's the way you got me under your spell. Don't you keep it all to yourself.
Guys, I think I've heard this before, but the strange thing is I haven't heard it through reacting, so I think I thought when I reacted to the Wasabi video, I thought I was hearing Little Mix for a first time. It's going to be one of those things though, isn't it? Because I reacted to Zayn Pillow Talk recently, and I thought I hadn't heard Zayn, you know? But I had actually heard that Pillow Talk song before. So I guess, unless you're living under a rock, you're going to have heard some of these songs before, but maybe not, maybe because I wasn't invested in Little Mix and didn't know enough about him. I just didn't know who it was I was listening to. I've heard this before, I guarantee.
Don't you take it? I feel like for the first time I am not faking. Fingers on my buttons and now you're playing. Master of anticipation.
Perry, I don't want you to ever leave the group. Never ever do it, but listen. Please, even if you don't put an album out, just put some singles out, because I want some Perry all over a track. I really do. And I understand it's tough. It's tough because some of them probably do want to do solo work, but at the same time, like, they are such a unity as a group. It's like they were even talking about on the Instagram lives about how they're feeling lost without each other. You know what I'm talking about? So it's a very strong. It goes beyond the band thing, and it goes beyond just a unity between some girls. They're like family. You know what I'm saying? So Perry, don't ever feel like doing some solo work takes anything away from the band. In fact, prioritize that. Just whenever you have some downtime, let's hear some of that out of you. I want it.
Don't you keep it all to yourself. Just a touch of your love is enough to knock me off of my feet all week. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love. Oh, just a touch of your love is enough to take control of my whole body. Just a touch of your love. Oh, just a touch of your love. Oh.
Now, has this been the same song throughout? Because I recognize that part too. So again, if it's the same song, okay, obviously. If this is now going into a different song, which I'm sorry, my ignorance, I'm unsure. I recognize that, just a touch of your love. Like, I recognize that from somewhere. So I think I've low-key heard some Little Mix, man. But this is the first time I picked up on it, you see? So everything else y'all have got me to react to, clearly stuff I hadn't heard before. So this happens to be one that seems to have some songs I've heard before.
Just a touch of your love is enough to knock me off of my feet all week. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love is enough to take control of my whole body. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love.
I might have to rethink something I said a minute ago, because I love hearing Perry on her own, I really do. And then, you know, what ends up happening is Leanne ends up belting out some notes, Jade ends up belting out some notes, Jesse ends up doing it. So I end up, you know, almost thinking the same thing about them anyway, so I should just really shut up. But then when they sing together, I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't be without this, you know what I'm saying? So I would have heard, here's the thing, right? Now, I recognize the guitar right away. Now, that's not to say that sounds traditionally 100% how this song would have sounded. That just means my ear picked up on the rhythm, like right away, and the guitar helped me get there, right? But hearing them together like that, I guarantee you if I heard this song just in the background somewhere, which is why I'm telling you all I recognize it, I would have not known it was Little Mix, but I guarantee you I would have been sitting there being like, who is this? And if nobody in the room could tell me, then I never would have known, you know? Little Mix is special, man.
Photograph with no t-shirt on.
Oh, Jesse.
Why you making me wait so long? Wait so long. I promise to keep this a secret I'll never tell. Yeah, don't you keep it all to yourself.
These are very risque / vulnerable lyrics. It's kind of risque, but there's a vulnerability to it too. Listen to what she just said.
So won't you take it? I feel like for the first time I am that fake yeah. Fingers on my buttons and not your playing. Messed her up into suspicion. Don't you keep it all to yourself. To yourself. To touch your love is enough to knock me off of my feet. Oh, yeah. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love is enough to take control of my whole body. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love.
Leanne. See, you know I just want to say the same thing I just said for Perry, so I'm not even going to say it. But Jesus, man. It's Little Mix. This is what it's all about. This is what you get with Little Mix. Like, can you all even believe it? Can you all believe this is a thing? Like, can you all remember life before Little Mix at this point? I can't. I remember when I heard the Beatles for the first time. I nearly punched a gorilla. And you know that's not smart.
Just a touch of your love is enough to knock me off of my feet all week. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love. Oh, just a touch of your love is enough to take control of my whole body. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love. Oh, just one touch of your love. Just one touch of your love. I wanna feel your touch. I want it so much.
I want Little Mix so much all the time. And what is it says down in that little book there? Can you all see what it says on that book? Can you all see? I'm trying to read. What does it say? Follow @Reactor on Twitter. What a strange thing to strategically place in a book during a live performance that I've never seen before. I need to stop.
Just a touch of your love is enough to knock me off of my feet all week. Just a touch of your love. Just a touch of your love.
Wow. I got to a point where I was so lost in that I forgot there would be other people in the room with them. Like, obviously there's a camera on them, so that should obviously make sense, right? But it seems like there's more than just a cameraman and maybe a couple of production team. It seems like there's a few people in there. Wow, man, because I totally was not paying attention to anything else but their vocals, apart from my goofiness, which can't be helped. A therapist have tried. It doesn't help. But them together is so beautiful, and I think that answers my question that it was the same song throughout, because that's the only thing. I know I'd heard that before, but I'm not an experienced Little Mix fan, if that makes sense. I'm very little in the Little Mix world. I'm still mixing myself up with the wonderful girls that are in front of me, and I'm in love with them all, to be honest with you. And they're all taken from what I can tell, which that really, because I had a chance, right? I had a chance. I don't think I did. I really don't. Oh, it's tragic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm myself. Me
It's a family show, Jade. Or is it?
too. Very intense. Right, next one? Yes. Yeah. Hey, we're Little Mix, and this is our brand new single, Shout Out to My Ex.
Okay, I can already tell you now that this is, I realized this after reacting to Wasabi, actually. I'm surprised I didn't say this earlier. I had actually heard Shout Out to My Ex before, just didn't know it was Little Mix, that's all. But I had realized, I can't even remember when it clicked with me. Maybe Shout Out to My Ex had come on somewhere. Playlist somewhere on the radio. God knows where it come on. But I realized that I recognized the voices, and I was like, oh. I said, I can't even remember who it was. It was like maybe a friend next to me or something. I said, oh, who is this? And they went, oh, this Little Mix. And I was like, oh. Like I started to click why I recognized the vocals and everything. But I also recognized that I'd heard that song before. So I'd heard it before hearing it just a few weeks back. A few weeks back is when I think I first reacted to Wasabi. So, you know, maybe a week or two after that. My whole timeline is off. But at some point, I was sitting with a friend, and I even forget who the friend was, but I heard Shout Out to My Ex come on. They confirmed for me it was Little Mix. Then that helped me realize that I'd actually heard that Shout Out to My Ex song before too. I just didn't, when I heard it the first time, I guess it would have just been on in the background somewhere. I didn't pay much attention. When I heard it recently and a friend pointed it out that it was Little Mix, what grabbed me was I recognized the vocals, which I realized probably came off of the strength of me. I think I'd only reacted to Wasabi at that point. Maybe I'd done Acapella Queens as well, I can't remember. So, I mean, all I'm trying to tell you, that's my very long-winded way of telling you all, is that I realized that I've probably not even known I've had experience with Little Mix before having it with y'all. But there's so much stuff you were showing me, man. Like that Acapella Queens was special. And I'm so glad that I was turned on to the breakup song, because if I had stayed the way I was before, I'd have probably just admired them from afar and not even known I was admiring Little Mix, you know? So, it's special.
This is a shout out to my ex. Heard he lost another chick.
Never heard it like this before.
Yeah, they hurt me, I'll admit. Forget that bomb for it. I hope she getting better sex. Hope she ain't faking it like I did, babe. Too far gets to call it quits. Forget that bomb for it.
See the way these lyrics are very blunt too. Like, believe me, I'm catching everything that's being said. These lyrics are very, very blunt, and these guys support each other so much. Like, even Jessie just turning to Perry and giving her a little bit of a, you know, go on, you got this. Like, they do this all the time. They always have arms around each other. Like, they're so supportive of each other. Like, it goes back to what I was saying before, right? About how they were just so ecstatic to see each other in the Instagram lives, because they miss each other and they see each other pretty much every day. It's crazy.
Guess I should say thank you for the hate juice and the tattoos. Oh baby, I'm cool by the way. It's sure I loved you anyway. Go away, be mama, live my life, yeah. Shout out to my ex, you're really quite the man. You made my heart break and that made me who I am. It's my ex, hey, they get me now, but I'm all the way up. I swear you'll never bring me down.
Now, that was the part I recognized. Whenever it come on, I can't remember where it come on, whether I just had a Spotify playlist on or we had radio in the background. My friend pointed it out to me, and that's where it was this part that I truly recognized. So I'd heard this before.
Deleted all your pics, and I blocked your number from the phone.
Savage.
Hey, it's a go you can get, but you ain't getting this like no more. Cause now I'm living so legit, even though you broke my heart in two, baby. But I step right back, I'm so brand new, baby. I'm so brand new. Worry my next song for you, for you.
They got so much attitude in this song, man. I love it.
Guess I should say thank you for the hate shoes and the tattoos. Baby, I'm cool. Kool-Aid. It's sure all up to you. Anyway, go ahead, baby. I'm gonna live my life. My life. My life. Hey! Shout out to my ex. You're really quite the man. You made my heart break, and then baby, who I am. Here's to my ex. Hey, look at me now. Baby, just look at me now. I swear you'll never bring me
Oh, Jessie, what a beautiful way to end it, girl.
Thank you.
And people was telling me that Jessie was getting bullied, like she was getting a lot of online hate. I think from what I heard, it was, what was it all about weight or whatever? Like what, like just saying she's not perfectly skinny or whatever? Like, where's that come from? A lot of people did the same thing to Demi Lovato, and it makes me think, number one, like what age do we even live in for a start? And number two, like who are you to say like what body type is amazing? Who are you as the dictator of that? Like at the end of the day, I think Leanne's beautiful, right? And she has more of the kind of slim and slender body type, right? I think the same about Perry, but at the same time, I can look at Jessie and think the exact same thing. It's just, and you got to keep in mind, there's people out there that don't like skinny girls, or they don't really like girls that are too slim. They like girls that have got a little bit more thickness to them and a little bit more on the bone. You know what I'm saying? So just, yeah, just, I mean, I just don't understand it, you know? It's my own struggle. I struggle to understand people that struggle to understand that every body type has its place. I mean, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And look, if you're somebody that's struggling with weight and you want to take care of it to better yourself and be healthy, well, that's fine. But there's some girls that are naturally kind of thick and naturally kind of carry extra weight because they don't, it's how their bodies are, you know? Anyway, I don't know what got me on that, but that was great. It's a Paper Penthouse by Little Mix. It was like, is Paper Penthouse like a thing? Is that like a thing where other artists go on Paper Penthouse and they do this? Because there's a thing called Tiny Desk where people do that. Or is that just the name of this? Yeah, please help me with that. This was great. I love Little Mix. I'm all here for it. You'll know I got locked down. Let's get through this quarantine together, baby. I'm out of here. I'm out. I gotta go. I'm done. I'm out of here.